Hey everybody, welcome back to the Great Lakes Disc YouTube channel. I'm super excited for today's interview with my man, Christopher Kearney, aka Cheating Lefty. He's been doing the YouTube reviews for like 5+ years now. He's got dozens of great reviews out there. Flips them to right-handed so more people can understand it. Stays in left-handed for our left-handed friends. He's got the best of both worlds. So you should definitely check out his YouTube channel at Cheating Lefty. But here is the interview with Chris. Stay tuned to the end for giveaway, and remember to like and subscribe. All right, and welcome back. Here we have Chris Kearney, not mispronounced, aka Cheating Lefty from YouTube, part of Team Great Lakes. We're excited to have you here. How you doing today, Chris?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Brian.
Listen, you are a legend in the disc review world, in my humble opinion. I've met you through Discraft Underground and all that other stuff, but we'll get to that later. Just want to thank you for putting the info out there, putting your time and your effort into all this stuff. As a super am myself, it's always nice to see somebody grinding and putting stuff out there. So thank you.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. That's why I do for all the AMs out there.
Heck yeah. So, why don't you tell our viewers or maybe our
Mhm.
future listeners about how you got into disc golf? What's your disc golf origin story?
Geez. Well, I used to live really close to a disc golf course. It was kind of pinched in between two regular ball golf courses. I used to do a lot of ball golf. Dad kept poking fun, joking, "Hey, you should try that disc golf thing." It's like, nah, why would I do that? That doesn't look any fun. So then that went on literally for about all through my teens. Met my now wife and her brother. He tried to get me introduced to disc golf, saying, "Hey, you got to
Nice.
try this out." And I was like, "Who wants to do that? That's no fun." That went on for 11 years. So now I'm on the wrong side of 30. And for my company, I was our liaison for BNI. I think it's like a business networking international group.
Okay.
And they like to do like little like one-on-ones with people, kind of really meet, get to know someone in their business. So one person was like, "Hey, I got an idea for something creative. Let's go play disc golf. Have you ever done that?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course. I've totally done that." So luckily, one of my coworkers had a few discs, played a little bit when they were back in college. Discs were probably 25 years old, and
Nice.
went out, played. It was got my butt kicked. It was probably the end fall of 2014. Immediately after, picked up my first disc golf set of Innova starter discs and
Yep.
whatnot. That old Shark Leopard 3 whatever AVR combo, and yeah, then 2015 came around and started really taking it seriously. So wish I'd listened to everyone though, like 15, 20 years earlier.
Yeah, we all of us that have played the game longer than a couple years wish we had time machines, that's for sure.
I might be a little bit better than I am now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I have 200 PDGA events to say I'm like 880. It's cool. I'm not worried. So I met you through Underground, and that's how I started watching the Discraft reviews. But you started making reviews before you were even on Underground. What made you want to start doing reviews, I guess, on the first place?
Um, Honestly, at the time I started doing them, like there was nothing out there on YouTube. There was very little, unless it was like tournament coverage, and this was before it was even commentary. It was
Yeah.
just I forget who was it. McFly. I can't remember the full thing.
Yep.
But he was out there for like Prodigy events. It was just no audio. It was just nice subtle music, watching the tournament, and I was like, besides that, there really wasn't much else unless you were watching an actual manufacturer, video. So, it's cool watching those pros throw. But I was like, but what is it going to do for me?
Yeah.
So I decided, hey, I got to get that out there to people. So that was kind of the idea behind, getting the channel off the ground.
Yeah, that makes sense, and obviously you've been doing it for a little bit of time. Without looking, do you know what your first review was?
Oh God, the very first. See, I know what my very first like Discraft review was. But
Yeah, this is not Discraft. I don't want to give it
this is
away.
not Discraft. Yeah, no, no. Oh gosh, I know it was Trilogy. I know that because I was throwing a lot of Trilogy back then. Was it the EMAC Truth?
Yeah, it was you actually could have guessed two different ones. It was a combo review. You put the Verdict and the EMAC
Okay.
Truth in your first
Oh,
review ever.
that's right. That's right. The combo video. Yep.
Yep. So kudos to you. I mean, that's pretty exciting. Do you know what video of yours has the most views?
Most views. I know I have a couple that are up around 30 K
Yep.
views. I don't know if this one is the most or second most, but I think Passion.
It's Passion is up there, but your number
Oh,
one.
Avenger SS.
Yeah, it's Avenger SS, and that makes so
Yeah,
much sense. It is a,
yeah,
fairway driver for everyone. So
it
why would that not
definitely is.
be, your most reviewed disc? I think that that's great. So that's awesome. Um, we've talked about, you didn't see anyone producing this type of stuff, so you get into it. Content creators, the biggest, issue with a lot of us is, they do their first couple and they don't see, a million hits, and they give up. So what made you want to like continue doing these, and getting to the point where you're now getting 30 to 40,000 on some of these bigger ones?
Honestly, I just love doing it.
That's awesome.
It's I love the editing process, and also it gives me an excuse to just go out and throw and just try new things all the time.
Yeah, that's perfect. Do you have a favorite review from your time doing it?
Um, oh, favorite review. I would have to say, kind of looking back, it's got to be one of my like the very first for at least for the Discraft, the very first one where I did is like a disc battle. I think it
Oh,
was the oh, I'm trying to remember. I think it was like Onyx and Vulture or something
okay,
like that. I
yeah,
think
that makes sense.
that was one of my favorite. Those like it was right after the Onyx came out, and Vulture was already one of my favorite fairway drivers, control drivers. So that was probably I think one of my favorite videos to do. It's just something so new and out of the ordinary for me.
Yeah, I mean Vulture still is one of my favorites in the bag, so that's pretty cool. So I've put up reviews before. I will admit I am extreme novice compared to you. I just slap a few things together in the iPhone movie editor and say, "Hey kids, look at this cicada fly." But you've obviously got the skills and put in some craft and probably got the equipment and stuff. So, for those of you that don't know, and we'll try to keep this under 5 minutes. Let's say we got a new disc coming out. Let's say it's the Drive or something from Discraft that's coming out here soon. Talk to us about like start to finish, from the idea to you posting online. How long does
Yep.
that take? What are some of the steps, and try to do it in five or less. So ready, set, go.
Yep. Okay. Well, I just want to go back to what you said with the iPhone editor. Don't sell yourself short. You can come up with some amazing stuff through there. I think the first 3 years I was doing my disc review videos, my Discraft review videos, all of that was with the iPhone editor.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So, but for now, like I say, just right now with what I'm currently doing, yeah, it's so. I mean, obviously, when I first think of it, I try to every year I think of what's 20, 30 discs I want to review and write those down. And then so that way I kind of have that plan going into the year. If I see deals on them, I can take advantage of it or whatnot. And I
Yeah.
leave myself another wiggle room of 5 to 10 discs for stuff that are just coming out for the year.
Hmm.
But then, yeah, I try playing, what are the most popular plastic types? I try to get as many as possible, just through the course of, again, deals, playing in tournaments and seeing what they have, at the tournament for like players packs and stuff like that to kind of help build a collection. But then, yeah, the filming process itself, unless I'm really focused on a specific disc, it can take me an entire year to film a video. Like I'll go out to a course, and if it sets up well for a disc, I'll throw it on a couple holes. Maybe 2 weeks later, I visit another course that sets up well for the same disc, throw that on a couple holes. So, you'll see shots from spring, you'll see shots from fall and everything in between. Because I probably shoot about 50 videos worth of stuff every single year. And then
Wow.
just so that way it can keep coming out, even during the winter time. For
Yeah.
Minnesota, we can't really play, in the winter. I mean, we can, but you can't really do reviews in the winter. So for me, it's just nice to be able to keep it going all the time. As for the actual stuff, once I get everything filmed, I use Adobe Pro for my editing software now.
Nice.
Dump it all onto there, get everything all nice, just on the timeline, everything in order, shorten everything down the way I want it to be, kind of splice that all together. Um, then kind of just slap on all the graphics and everything, but and then get it out to get what do you call, like, all the audio stuff, music done. Typically, if I can work just straight start to finish on a single video, maybe takes me about through 3 days, maybe 4, depending on time. But I like to do it as like a conveyor belt almost or whatnot. So I'll usually work on 3 videos at a time, but just kind of do each part and then go back to onto the next one and whatnot.
Yeah,
So it
that makes
takes me
sense.
about a week and a half to do 3 videos.
Well, I mean, that's commitment. You can tell you're obviously passionate about it, which I think anybody that's passionate about anything on their own time is important for self. So kudos to you for doing that. I'm sure it fills your
Thank
bucket,
you.
especially when you do see the positive reviews and comments and numbers go up, like that's always positive too. But when you're doing it just for the fun of it to start, it's cool to keep going. So kudos to
Oh
you
yeah.
for that, man.
Thank you. Yeah, always learning something new. I mean, I didn't go to school for editing or filmmaking or anything like that. I literally didn't start doing any of that until I started the channel when I was like 34. 34, 35 is when I
Yeah.
started it. So started it way late in life, but I just absolutely love it. Learning new things with pretty much every video that comes out. So that's what kind of also just keeps driving me besides the community and fans. It's learning something new and challenging myself every single time.
Well, that's wonderful. It's cool that you're still challenging yourself, and I like to see the new. It's fun to kind of watch your progression over the years. You got a little bit of
Oh,
graphics here, and then you flip to right-handed, left-handed, and we're adding music, and it's
yep,
cool to see growth, and I think that's a cool parallel for both our game. Our
yep.
game is always growing, but like us as individuals, we're adding our little flair to game, so that's cool, man. I
Oh, the
really
the
like that.
flipping, the lefty righty flip, that I think was the big thing for the videos, and just so that way everyone is kind of represented, and even just the comments, even still after a couple of years of doing it, I still get comments. When did you learn how to do right-handed?
Yeah.
Are you really that good left and right-handed? Wow.
I would just start telling everyone you are. Just yeah. And until they see you at a tournament, just be like, yeah, I throw ambidextrous. I'm great.
Oh,
I bomb
absolutely,
it.
yeah.
500 right hand and left. It's easy.
Oh God,
So
I wish 500.
yeah, right. Yeah, we all do. Except for AB. So you're a dad, you got a partner, you got kids, you got a
Yep.
career, you play disc golf, obviously. Do you consume like other people's reviews? Do you check them out and be like, "Ooh, this one's good," or "This guy stinks"? Do you look at that type of stuff, or?
I do take a look at the competition a little bit, try to get some ideas for things. I mean, if you get stagnant, that's going to show in the video. So no, I'm always always watching other people. I love a lot of other like disc golf content creators. Like some shout outs, like Overthrow Disc Golf. I love
Yep.
those guys. Swanky, love them.
Nice.
Um, Bodanza.
Yeah,
He actually I guess he used to watch my channel. I went back and he's actually is commenting on a lot of my older stuff there. So,
that's awesome, man. Yeah,
it's kind of cool to see that. And then, I mean, obviously the big, Eagle, Simon, all of them.
yeah, that's good stuff. So, you talked about the software you use, just
Yeah.
Adobe Pro, and that's pretty much it.
For like the editing software, Adobe Pro.
And what are we filming on? iPhone or?
Used to up until last year, I finally made the jump to an actual camera. For
That's
any of
awesome.
those camera nerds out there, I'm using the Canon R6 Mark II with a 15 to 35 millimeter lens.
Got to see that went over my head. Producer Zach in my ear is gonna tell me it's good though. And I'll just smile and nod and say,
Um,
hey, that's
it
cool.
it was a big investment, big
Yeah.
big investment. Yeah.
Well, as any AM3 would say, we don't need a $300 Zuka card, but it's an investment, or we don't need a $300 grip bag, but it's an investment. So, we got to invest in our craft and continue to do stuff, and that's great, and I love that. Uh, so let's forget cheating lefty for a second. Let's talk to just Chris, the disc golfer. What are our plans this year? We're gonna play in a couple of events. We're gonna play in leagues. How do we play disc golf when we're not filming?
Yep. So unfortunately, because of work, I haven't been able to play in leagues for a couple of years. But finally, I'm no longer closing at my work, which closing is till 6 o'clock. The league usually
Hmm.
starts at 5:45.
Right.
But now I'm finally going to be able to get out at 5 o'clock. So maybe a few times during the summer, especially then, the kids aren't going to be in school, so I don't have to go pick them up. So I
Yeah.
may be able to get over, play a few rounds of the league. But for tournaments, I always try to drive to one major tournament every single year. Sometimes just to spectate, sometimes to actually participate.
Yeah.
Um, this year, I'm going to be going to the Des Moines Challenge. So I know I've gone to D-Glow the last couple of years and Ledgestone before that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this year, Des Moines Challenge, obviously Preserve is right in the area. So I take the whole week off and just, enjoy that.
That's
Um,
awesome.
but then, yeah, a few local tournaments just kind of around. I need to really get back into playing tournaments. It's been hard with the two kids because
Oh yeah.
wife works Saturdays, tournaments are always Saturdays, so I have to be home with kids. But gonna see if we can, use some of those brownie points with the grandparents and see if we can get out to a few this year.
Nothing wrong with that at all. I love that. So, you've obviously thrown a lot of frisbees. Do
Yeah.
you have a favorite mold of all time?
Oh, that's a loaded question because it's I mean, obviously being discraft for a while, you'd think it'd be a discraft mold, but then just opening to an open bag that's last year and having basically my eyes open, pretty much for like the first time, it feels like, since I started, I've been able to do so much. Right now, my favorite mold to throw is the MVP Watt.
Oh, all
Definitely
right.
my favorite to throw right now, but I would think my favorite just all time, if it's the only disc I could ever throw the rest of my life, um, I would probably, gosh, I would have to say the Rift.
Okay. Yeah, I've got a Marweed Rift or two on my shelf over here. You know what? That's a great transition to our giveaway. We should give away some Marweed Rifts because that's my favorite,
Marweed Rift.
and that's your favorite. And I bag one. So shout out to Marweed. He's on an off week this week, or whenever you're listening to this, he might not be. Who knows? But we're
I
gonna give
like to
away.
think he is.
Yeah, yeah. He's maybe playing some ball golf. He likes to do that in his spare time. We're gonna give away a Marweed Rift of your color choosing of what's available in my store when I give it away. So that's fair. Chris, what should they comment below to win? What should they do?
Oh,
Put
comment,
you on the
comment.
spot. I love it.
Yeah, I'm making these gears turn. These old gears. Comment. Let's just go something easy. Their favorite disc golf hole. If they can list the whole number and the course.
Ooh, I like the favorite disc golf hole. My favorite disc golf hole is number 4 at Beauty or number A, depending on when you played that course. But it looks over an apple orchard and then looks over
Okay.
the Lake Michigan. So it's very nostalgic to me. So that's pretty cool. Great question, Chris. Really appreciate that. So we're gonna give away a Rift, or maybe we'll give away two. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But Chris, obviously you have a YouTube channel. People should go and like and subscribe that. We're going to link that below. What else should they do to support Chris?
Um, Honestly, if you ever need anything disc golf related, because this is the two-way street, so go to GreatLakesDisc.com.
What? You should go to GreatLakesDisc.com. What
Shop
code would they use at checkout to help?
at checkout. Use the code Lefty, all
What?
lowercase, just Lefty.
I would have never guessed lefty, and you're left-handed. Crazy. Any other sponsors you want to shout out?
Um, Honestly, actually, Great Lake Disc is the only sponsor at the moment.
Listen, folks, Cheating Lefty. How is he? How are we the only sponsor? He needs a dry bag of clothing, a hat, beard trimmer, diaper sponsor for the
Oh,
kids. We need it all.
beard is brand new. I have no idea how to maintain it. I've never had a beard in my entire life. Just been growing it out since October, and I have no idea what I'm doing. So if you who has a beautiful beard, you have to give me some tips.
We'll talk offline, but yeah, I haven't seen my chin in 20 years, so we'll talk. All right. Well, thanks. If you're still with us, remember to like and subscribe. Visit Chris's channel, give him a like, watch a video, give him a comment. Thank you to everyone that's out in the disc golf world. Chris, thank you stopping by. Really appreciate you. Until next time, everyone, keep it in the fairway.
Thank you, Brian.